Please welcome Global Industry Strategist, Media and Entertainment, Salesforce, Daniel Dollartier.
Last week, I picked up our kids from my in-laws' house. And I got into the living room, and the TV was on. Some light family entertainment. And there was a commercial break. And during that commercial break, a cartoon ad came up. And our son, Jonathan, he's 6 years old, he looked at it and he was like, go back, I want to see it again. And my mother-in-law, she looked at him, she smiled, and she said, honey, we can't go back? And he looked at her very confused, frustrated, irritated, call it whatever you want. But that makes total sense, right? Because he's growing up in a streaming world where you can always go back or skip forward. And to me, that was symbolic for how the media and entertainment industry is changing, right? And how our audiences are changing. They demand control, they demand access to everything at any point in time. This is the reality we and all of you are living in. Welcome to the Media and Entertainment Keynote. Before we dive in, a quick thank you and also a bit of empathy. It's day 3, lunchtime, after Dreamfest, and you're still here. That's great. It says a lot about your, exactly, thank you. It says a lot about your energy, your curiosity, and also your commitment to this industry. And also a big thank you to the millions of people watching us on Salesforce Plus. But whether you're here in the room with us today or whether you're at home, all of you work in this industry that entertains, that informs, and that connects billions of people across the globe. Times are challenging, right? Production costs keep rising, audience get more and more fragmented, and advertising is a tough competition with many new players. But still, our mission keeps the same, keeping people entertained and informed. When I was a kid growing up in Germany, 8 p.m. on Saturday was the campfire moment for my family. We all got together in front of the TV, watched a very weird German game show, I can tell you. And, and it was on one channel, once a month. If we missed it, we had to wait I had to wait another month. And this is very different today, right? It's not only a couple of channels that we have access to. It's countless channels. Choices are unlimited. We binge an entire season over a weekend, and we also demand instant access to content whenever we want it. So the real battle right now is not about content. It's about attention. And while content is pretty much unlimited, our attention is not. Every publisher, every newspaper, every streaming service, every video game company, every broadcaster is competing for the same couple of minutes of a consumer's time. And in order to win in this race for relevance, there are 3 things media and entertainment companies need to do. 1, they need to capture attention. They need to create content that's truly sticking out. Number 2, they need to keep attention, which means making every interaction relevant and personal. And 3, they need to monetize attention, which means turning attention into real commercial value. I spent most of my career in media and entertainment, and I love the industry, but it's a very technical, it's a very complex, it's a very manual industry, and I think all of you can relate to that. And the MIT recently said that media and entertainment is the industry that's going to be most disrupted by AI and automation. And we see great progress amongst our customers, but we also notice that there are still challenges. Manual production workflows, fragmented subscriber data, outdated ad sales systems, all of that is preventing us or hindering us to drive real-time outcomes. But what if it was different? What if humans and agents work side by side to capture, to keep, to monetize every single moment of our attention? Welcome to the Agentic Enterprise, where humans and agents work side by side to bring together creativity and commercial impact. Agentforce 360 for media and entertainment brings this to life, all the way from smart content creation to deep audience engagement to driving real, tangible commercial outcomes. So over the next few minutes, we're going to hear from 3 amazing customers and my incredible colleagues about how exactly Agentforce can help drive these forces that shape media and entertainment: create, engage, and monetize. We're going to start with the first one, create. This is where every journey begins, right? This is about creating a movie, breaking the news, highly manual processes. And it's not only about creating that content. It's also about making sure that that content lands in front of the right person, on the right channel, at the right moment in time. And this is exactly where creativity and technology come together, and where the future of media and entertainment is redefined. To take us all the way from the studio to the spotlight, please welcome Senior Vice President, TMT Enterprise Sales, Tony Case.
All right, nice work, Daniel. All right, I get to talk about the cool stuff, creating content. How many of you like creating really quality, good content? Yeah, right on, right on. How many of you like pressing all the buttons to go execute on that content? Yeah, I didn't think so. So, look, good content is what matters, but getting good content out there in an agile, fast, relevant way is what it's all about, and that is not easy to do. Pitch to play is too slow in the market right now, and oftentimes not successful. It can take weeks, months, even years sometimes to go from pitch to play. And 79% of pitches often are ignored due to relevance. That's something really interesting to think about in our industry, and what we as marketers have to deliver. But this is precisely why we created Agentforce, to solve this problem. Agentforce powers the entire content lifecycle, taking on those high volume repetitive tasks that you don't want to do. Giving you the empowerment and unlocking your time so you can focus on the creative and the strategy side of this, and not worrying about all those mundane tasks that sort of take the time to get out to the market. Now, Agentforce is your differentiator. And as you think about Agentforce being your partner as you deliver content, as you try to capture the attention of the audience that you really need to hit home, the creative is where we want to spend our time, thinking up the really amazing message and the content. But imagine a world where you also have Agentforce. I'm going to give you an example through Campaign Agent. You're creating this amazing content, and right by your side, you have Agentforce analyzing information for you, suggesting, is this the right messaging? Is it hitting home in the right channels? What channel do you need to put it on to make sure it reaches that audience? And most importantly, reaches that audience at the right time. And if done properly with Agentforce, now you can do this in seconds, not weeks, not months. It can be turned around like that, giving marketers a whole different level of confidence that their content is not only going to land, but it's going to be in front of the audience at the right time. Now, look, I'm the sales guy. I could stand up here all day and talk to you about how cool this product is and the ROI behind it, but I think you probably want to see it in action. So I want to bring up Brian England, who's going to show us how the campaign agent works in action. Brian, take it away, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Hey, let's also welcome our amazing demo drivers. We got Claire Burdette and Jaren Wang. So what you basically just heard is taking an idea from pitch to play is not easy. We have disconnected systems, endless amounts of assets that just slows everything down. But what if everything worked together in one connected hub? Well, let's show you. So we've taken and expanded the idea of Title 360 into IP 360, giving you a complete view of your entire franchise. So in our example today, we're seeing Stellar Media Studios IP 360 for their franchise, Astroforce, and where we can see all the performance across all the feature films, all the television shows, comic books, video games, merchandise, all connected back to Salesforce. And we can also see all the IP, all the titles that are related to this IP, video games, television shows, feature films. But let's go ahead, we're gonna drill into next summer's highly anticipated sequel, Astroforce, Rise of Agent Force. So, as Tony mentioned, every idea starts with a pitch. It's the idea that needs to earn the green light. And with Salesforce, we can track that entire process from pitch to play all in one system. And on our title record here, we can see our colorful cast and crew, our above the line, below the line talent, our screenwriters, all of our key actors. So we have a full talent 360 that we could get into, but we also see we have an AI success prediction, so we can greenlight with confidence. All right, so during the pitch process, our creative teams typically spend long hours researching a franchise history, but with Agentforce, that can happen instantly. A simple request, we can generate a full franchise summary, all of the character origins, all the past feature films, TV shows, comic books, video game tie-ins, merchandise, all in one view. What used to take long hours now happens in a matter of seconds, and it gives your creative teams all the context to make smarter, faster decisions. And when we bring all this Title 360 data together, Salesforce can become your complete creative command center. We can see Stellar Media, they power everything: IP, development, production management, facilities, talent management, television distribution, even supply chain, all in one connected Salesforce org. So everybody's working from the same single source of truth. I wish we could go through all of these today, but let's go ahead and we're gonna jump into production management. We're gonna fast forward to next spring. Astroforce, Rise of Agent Force, just wrapped post-production, exciting times. We're getting ready to launch. Now, we could just reuse the same thing we did for the last Astroforce film, same marketing plan, release plan, and that might do fine. But why settle for fine when we have Agentforce? We can just simply ask it, what's a good comp for this title? And Agentforce is gonna go ahead and analyze performance data, past campaigns, audience trends. Ultimately, it's gonna come back with the perfect comparable title for us to base the release plan and the campaign strategy. So let's see what it came back with. Everybody's favorite collaborative thriller, Slack Point, no threads left behind. And it even explains why. We got similar screen count, budget, box office. We even get a Tableau visualization of all the data. So we can see all the marketing summary, as well as all of the ultimates. If you scroll down a little bit, Jaron, what also makes sense is just like Astroforce, Slackpoint also had a hit video game tie-in. Now, you guys have been at Dreamforce 3 days, you know that Agentforce doesn't just give insights, it also takes action. So it gives me a nice follow-up of, hey, you want me to go ahead and create the release plan, the campaigns, and all the deliverables for you? Absolutely. So Agentforce gets to work, builds the plan, launches the campaign, creates that record for the video game tie-in, even sends a Slack message so we can start the teaser, trailer, and poster. So what once took weeks now is teed up for us in a matter of moments. And of course, all this flows into Slack, where we can get the right teams looped in and start to take action. We can see that Agentforce creative request with all the context of the briefs and the assets. So the right people are looped in, the right time, with full context, tied back to Salesforce. And that's the power of bringing it all together. From pitch to play, every team, every asset, every insight, all connected by Salesforce. Back to you, Tony.
Right on. Let's give Brian a round of applause. Nice work, Brian. So whether it's a $200 million movie promo or a 30-second breaking news story, pitch to play is important. Pitch to play has to happen. There's no other option, and it has to happen in an agile, fast, relevant way. Now I get the honor of bringing up a customer of ours from the Sun, Helen Philpott, managing editor. Come on up, Helen. Excited to have you tell your story. Thank you for joining us. Excited to have you here.
Hello.
So, Helen, we are excited to have you on stage telling your amazing story at the Sun, knowing that the newsroom is powered by our platform via Slack. But take us to pre-Slack days and what it was like in the newsroom before you had the technology.
Newsrooms are really organic places, and our whole raison d'etre is exclusive stories. So speed and volume are, our two KPIs. We have to get the story out before anyone else, and we have to get it out accurately. And as you know, the media already said this morning has been consistently disrupted over the last 25, 30 years. It's no surprise that agents and AI are going to do the same to us. But because we're very robust in always meeting that challenge, we're always thinking of new and innovative ways in which we can stem that tide. And we're very quick at innovating, but due to that, though, we have lots and lots of systems in the newsroom because we're always adding on something. And so consequently, we have a very mixed estate of legacy systems, old CMSs, we still print, so we have a print CMS, and we have data in a number of different repositories. So it's a bit of a spaghetti, and it's amazing, actually, we get the content out in the way that we do. And every time a new platform comes along, we have to serve it. So, for example, we're now publishing to 26 different platforms every day out of the newsroom. And a lot of that is hand cranked, right? So, you've got to distribute on YouTube, on Snapchat, on Instagram, on TikTok. All of those have their own analytics backend. They have their own publishing mode. So we just needed a system that would rise above all of those different platforms that we could start to commission and manage our content flow.
Yeah.
And do you want me to carry on?
I mean, that's awesome. I think, look, multiple systems, the Sun being one of the largest news providers in the UK, serving millions and having to capture that attention a split second before their competitors. And so you turned to Salesforce and Slack specifically.
We did.
Tell us about how you use Slack.
Absolutely. So we were using Gmail, and Gmail was going down in the newsroom. So if you can imagine 600 to 700 picture requests every day, all in a different format, was just crashing the system. That's not sustainable. And so we were already using Slack, but using Slack, like most people do, as a messaging platform. Okay. Full disclosure, I had some insight into Slack as I previously worked at Salesforce. So I was like, okay, right. How do we innovate on a platform that we already have in the newsroom? Because we don't have time to do a big top-down transformation. You need something that is low friction, low change, that people are just going to adopt quickly or adapt to. And so we started to think about how we could use Workflow Builder in Slack to automate some of the workflows. And the first start for that was something called Article Brief, which is a standard workflow with a number of fields that we could request a picture. We now no longer use Gmail or email for any picture requests in the newsroom. They all now get fired off using an emoji. Wow. They go to the right desk, the picture researcher picks it up, they then attach the picture ID to the Slack workflow, and then that goes through to a publishing workflow to whichever platform we're publishing to. So that was our first phase. Now we're moving on to lists, or we're already on lists actually, and we use lists now in a Kanban format to manage all of our content from commission right through to almost distributing. The next thing is to try and get a WordPress integration so we can actually do the full end-to-end. And it's revolutionized my newsroom. I think the main takeaway is that everybody is familiar with the tool. All we're doing is innovating on it. We've required no IT support for this. We've done it all ourselves, building the workflow with our brilliant CSM in the US. And now we're looking at how we can build AI over the top of it.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you for not only sponsoring it, but bringing to life Slack way beyond the typical messaging system that most people might think it is at first. And it's also just a good anecdote. As you think about innovating on our technology, partner closely with our account teams. I think you've really been an amazing partner and trusted our teams to come in and support you and help you deliver. And you've really sponsored that. So thank you. As we think about AI and what you're thinking about next, where do you see the sun going into the future and potentially expanding upon leveraging Salesforce?
I mean, you can imagine, with the amount of data that we get and how we want to then move into a more personalized realm. So it's no surprise that Google, who we've relied on a lot over the years, and Facebook and all of the referral traffic that we get, we're a programmatic advertising business. We've had to pivot away because a number of the direct relationships we've needed to nurture, because we're not getting that referral anymore. They're not coming back to our site for a page view, so we're not making as much money. And so we have to we have to look at different revenue streams. And so we've had to launch a permeable paywall in the last 18 months. We're looking at a new video strategy, and that all requires new publishing workflows. And so I think what you've got to do is be agile in the newsroom to be able to allow that content to be published in different ways. And so AI is going to be so important for how we get the return loop. So audience, analytics, personalized content, are all really, really important things to us so that we can provide the right content to the right audience at the right time on the right platform.
Yeah. Well, let's give Helen a round of applause. She flew a long way to be able to tell this story.
Thank
you so much, Helen. We really appreciate you as a partner and look forward to the future with you. All right, so we've now had the opportunity to talk about how we can capture the attention of our target audience, but how do you keep it? I'm gonna bring up Senior Vice President Rodrigo Besa to tell us about that. All right.
Thank you, Tony.
Have
Thank
fun,
you so
buddy.
much.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. As we have seen so far, so creating a great content is essential for capturing the customer attention. But capturing the attention is really just the first step. The real challenge is how to keep the attention. In your industry, that usually translates into subscriber management. So when we talk about engaging in subscription, it really comes down to three things. So first, you want to deliver a highly personalized experience to your customers to keep them connected to your brand and to your content. And also, you want to provide a fast and a great support. No? So you don't want to let anyone unanswered. No? So I think the last thing you want is a customer to churn because they didn't feel cared for. So the reality is the subscriber journey is still very manual. From onboarding to renewal, everything is still manual. So what's the result of this? It becomes very hard for your teams to deliver a great experience for your customers. And it's almost impossible to scale. But it doesn't have to be this way. So now with Agentforce, you can take care of the whole subscriber journey all the way long. So you want to create a campaign, you want to create a briefing, an email, you can do this straight away. So in terms of support, when an issue pop up, a service agent can jump in and provide an answer, provide a solution, and even create an offer to prevent churning. So Agentforce turns the manual work into autonomous, and your team can really focus on what matters. And now, to show how this all comes to life, I want to invite to the stage our Senior Product Marketing Manager, Gabi Hasakawa.
Rodrigo.
How are you?
Thank you. Let's give a warm welcome to our amazing demo drivers, Coco Crow and Ishmael Brown. All right, let's talk subscribers. Today, they want way more than just access to content and show. They expect experiences that feel personal, easy, and always on. But delivering that at scale, it's not easy. But what if every interaction felt smooth for every single subscriber? Like they are recognized right away, supported before they even ask, and engaged in ways that actually matter to them. Let's take a look at the Stellar Media streaming here. Now they are adding a sports league to their package, and we need to launch a campaign to promote it. And here's where it gets really cool, because Agentforce jumps right in. It instantly creates a multi-channel campaign that I can tweak or refine anytime. And the best part? This isn't some chatbot tacked on the side. It's built right in the UI, always there, ready to help. Okay, from there I can lay out the entire campaign. Who we're targeting, what messages go out, which channels we use. So let's take a look at Journey Builder. Here, we can create personalized flows that automatically adapts to every subscriber preference. Email, text, both. This is amazing, but it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about audiences, because even the most brilliant campaign won't work if it's not in front of the right people. Now, with Agentforce, we can create or edit any target segment. In this case, let's go with sports fans. Wait a minute. Amazing. And we can even count the size of the segment in real time. Another amazing thing that is worth mentioning is that Salesforce has media-specific data model objects, which means all your subscriber data is finally living in one place. It's unified, it's actionable, and it's purpose-built for your business. All right. And now, in terms of messaging, well, Agentforce has already created an on-brand email personalized for the fans that we segment that we just created. Amazing. Okay, so imagine we just launched the campaign, subscribers sign up, and now it's finally game day. Now picture this: you're about to watch a big game, and then suddenly the screen freezes. You desperately try to reach customer service, but no one answers. Now, raise your hand if this has ever happened to you. Probably a lot of you. It's frustrating, right? Now imagine that happening to your subscribers. It's exactly the kind of experience you don't want them to have. And like behind the scenes, we know service reps are scrambling, jumping between 5 different systems, while support line grows longer and louder. But let's imagine a different story. What if before subscribers even start panicking, Agentforce detects the outage and proactively reach to the affected people? Now, of course, some frustration is inevitable, and one subscriber even mentions canceling. Now, Agentforce can highlight the benefits of our package and offer an exclusive discount to prevent churn, while your teams can focus on actually fixing the problem. And once that's done, well, Agentforce can automatically update your subscribers. Amazing. And that's the power of Agentforce. Campaigns that keep running smoothly, experiences that feel personal, and subscribers who stay loyal because no one is ever left unanswered. Rodrigo, back to you.
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you so much. So now I want to bring a real story to the stage from an amazing company in Brazil. I want to call to the stage the IT director of Global, Samuel, please. Hello, Samuel.
Thank you, Rodrigo.
Thank you. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
As I said, amazing company from Brazil, the largest media entertainment company in Latin America. Your streaming product is really fantastic. We have seen 30% growth year over year, every year. So congratulations. And please tell us, what challenges did you face?
Thank you. Good morning. Before to start, I'd like to make a small introduction about Global Play, because Global is a huge company and you have 3 main offers of our customers: free-to-air television, paid channels, paid, and TVOD. And we are talking about the streaming, and the Global Play has all these offers to the customers. And we have soap operas, we have sports, we have news, and all this kind of content has different customers, different segmentations, and different interest to buy a subscription. So to keep this this growth rates, it's very important to offer the right product to the right customer. And this is the first challenge that we had, because we needed the smart sell to offer the correct tier and subscription. So when we start, we had a lot of trouble to the customers to understand what they are buying to us, and we need to better segmentate these customers to create the good offer, the best offer to each one. So it's a very interesting. And we use the Marketing Cloud to do this segmentation and to create the right journey in the right campaign for each one, and use this intelligence to showing all the touch points that we have inside of our product. It's very important, and we use this. The second point is to keep the churn rates low. So when you are in a competitive market that the streaming and the entertainment are, with big players competing, you have to be fast to make improvements in your product, and nobody is free to make mistakes. In this case, you have to be fast, and you have to care your customers. When you are growing so fast, you have a problem that you cannot grow the same speed to the reps to answer the questions. So in this case, we need Agentforce or another intelligence to make the good answers for our customers. In this case, we made a very good experience to these customers to keep them inside of our platform.
That's very good, Samuel. You just said, like, hiring more reps is just not sustainable. Keep hiring reps, and then you decided to go for AI-driven solution like Agentforce. I think you answer part of that. So let's jump to the advice you may have to the people in here, because you did the implementation in very few weeks, from design to implementation of Agentforce. So what kind of advice would you give to the people here that want to do the same to their businesses?
Yes, it's a very good question. If we can give you advice, is focus, collaboration, and iteration. You have to define your use case. You have to collaborate with the multidisciplinary team that we need to create the solution, and you have to iterate. You have to fail fast and learn and improve. If you make this, you will go so fast in your solution. I can give an example. When we start with Agentforce, we had a lot of answers with our Einstein bot, and the NPS was not so good, around 30%. So we implement in 3 months a new solution that's much more easy and much more conversational with the customer, and we improve the NPS in more than 100%. And we realize that the churn rate goes down with this small improvement and making the solution.
That's very, very amazing to hear. I'm really looking forward to see what Global will do next. Congratulations. I will ask a round of applause to Samuel, please. Samuel, thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you. And now we are going to the next piece of the puzzle, which is monetize. Because at the end of the day, this only matters if it drives revenue for your companies. So I want to welcome to the stage the General Manager of Agentforce for Media, Shamawi. Please, come in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rodrigo. So, as Rodrigo mentioned, it's all about revenue, because the better we capture your audiences and the data behind that and help you monetize, the better the revenue growth. And when it comes to revenue in media, there are 4 large streams of revenue, from advertising, subscriptions, commerce, and licensing, content licensing. And it's when they all work together in a flywheel, they power that growth for you. And today, we will actually talk about the powerful growth that is growing at a tremendous rate, an opportunity of $1.5 trillion, and that is advertising sales. You all heard Daniel open the keynote with, back in my days, things were simple, right? So you had one place or 2 places to get content from. Measuring that and ensuring that it was successful was simpler. But today, it's an explosion of channels, of media types, formats, specs, compliance, regulations. And then you also need to make sure that you show ROI for your brands and your advertisers. And the complexity in measuring all of this is tremendous, and it keeps your teams churning and doing a lot of manual tasks. And so to capture it all and to make sure that there are efficiencies, that's where Agentforce Media comes into the picture. And Agentforce Media, formerly known as Media Cloud, is bringing you agents right next to your human workforce so that you can collaboratively engage and make things go faster, so that your employees and your salespeople can do things that are more strategic and free up time. Agentforce Media is also on Salesforce's core platform with Revenue Cloud. And that means faster performance from the get-go and better scaling and easier upgrades that you have come to expect from Salesforce. And we have an application entirely dedicated to managing ad sales that's built in out of the box, and you can take it and go and make sure that it works with your business. And that gives you insight all the way from lead to cash in one place, so that decisions can be taken with a single pane of glass. But not just that, of course, there's Agentforce in here, and I would love to actually introduce you to the ad proposal agent. What we've seen is that about 44% of media customers that we've spoken to say that the RFP tasks are so manual that that on average takes them 28 days across 8 people to pull together a response. And that's depending on the size of the company. That's a lot of lost opportunity that you could be pushing additional sales through. So the ad proposal agent actually takes the guesswork out of what would be typically dependent upon your salesperson's experience and expertise, and pulls together information from multiple sources like inventory availability, discovering products that appropriately match the criteria, targeting, and audience insights, bringing them all together with research and media kits that you may have, and creating a deck that would be a starting point for your sellers to go off of. And imagine this, right? You don't even have to wait for an RFP to respond to this. If you have your seller in a meeting talking to your customer and they want to bring up something that would be appropriate, Agentforce is right there with you, digging into the integrations that are there out of the box that we provide, and you would pull in availability and maybe some proposals that you may want to push because it's a new discount promotion package that's going on. And to pull all of this together, of course, you need the right audience to take and propose these campaigns to. And in order to do that, we have Data 360 clean rooms. And this is a fantastic way within the Salesforce family to actually help your advertisers share their data in a safe and compliant way, and be able to segment those audiences that you can then activate and show ads to. And I'm talking to you about this vision and how the product works, but I would love to invite distinguished solution engineer Ed D'Angelo to the stage to actually show you what that looks like in action.
Thank you, Chinmaye. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to be up here with you. Before we get started, let's welcome our demo drivers, Jeffrey Jones and Stan Shaw. All right, so now let's talk about ad sales. Anyone that's in the industry knows that ad sales is extremely complex. We're talking about multiple systems, multiple stakeholders, endless spreadsheets, endless documents, endless amounts of data. And our sellers are tasked with all sorts of different manual tasks. They have to pull all sorts of reports, dig through data themselves, search through inventory, and that takes time away from them doing what they do best: building relationships with customers and closing deals. But what can we do to make that better? In order to illustrate that, I'm going to take on the role of an ad salesperson at Stellar Media. So looking at how we can monetize everything, all that content that was created earlier. And like a lot of people in this room, I start my day in Slack. And when I log into Slack, I can see a notification that lets me know that one of my accounts, NTO, has released a new RFP. The great thing about this, though, is because it came in through Agentforce, I don't have to dig through email attachments, look at spreadsheets to understand the requirements. All of that's been surfaced for me, right? It's dynamically in there. I can see their budget. I can see who they're targeting. I understand the goals of the campaign without having to do all of that digging. So if you've ever worked on an RFP response before, then you understand the difficulty of turning that proposal around, right? Chinmaye hit on that, 28 days across a team of 8 people, right? Of 28 days of man hours. So let's take a look at how we can improve that and take those 28 days down to minutes. So Agentforce has surfaced the fact that one of the target demographics of this campaign is Gen Z. So first thing I want to get an understanding of is what is our reach for Gen Z? So I go in and ask that, and just in seconds, the agent's able to pull that information back for me. The next thing that I want to get an understanding of is what are the sponsorship opportunities that are going to target Gen Z as well. So again, Agentforce is going to pull that back in near real time. So now I'm still really getting a feel for what we can do for this customer. The last thing that I need to get a view in is inventory, but not just what inventory is going to target them correctly, but what's going to be available during the campaign window that they're targeting. So again, it pulls that information back, and now I'm starting to have a basis of everything that I need to build this campaign and build this proposal and put it together. Now I want to put that proposal agent into action. And dynamically, it's going to start building the proposal. It's going to tie it to an opportunity within Salesforce, and it's going to give me something that I can present, that I can review and present directly to my customer of how to deliver on the campaign that they asked for. So this is great. Just in seconds, right? In minutes, rather, we were able to take something that was 28 days and bring it down to just a few minutes. So the last thing that I want to do now is it doesn't really end there, right? Once the campaign's live, I can, because everything is connected on a single platform and surfaced for me in Slack, I can see what's going on in real time. I could get proactive notifications if that campaign's underperforming, if we're not delivering on the metrics that we promised to that customer, and I can course correct. I can work with my team and figure out how can we target better to deliver that ROI that we promised to the customer. So in this case, right, we're not just delivering campaigns, we're delivering on an ROI. And we're also be able to prove that every dollar that the customer spends with us, they're getting a return on. Thank you. Back to you, Chinmaye.
Thank you, Ed. Well, I hope that was inspiring because I talked about a vision and Ed brought it to life to show you the art of the possible. But don't just take our word for it. Please help me welcome to the stage Senior Vice President of Technology at Warner Brothers Discovery, Nage Sethu, and Vice President of Ad Sales Technology at Nexstar Media, Dave Schultz. Welcome, Nage and Dave, and thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Enduring Dreamforce is not easy, so we really thank you for being here. To start, let's start with Warner Brothers. Incredible portfolio of media assets in the news, of course, and you're going through a lot of transformation and some challenges. So you specifically have challenges in selling across digital and linear platforms. So how are you seeking to go through this, especially with Salesforce?
Yeah, thank you, Chinmay, and thank you, Salesforce. There's an old cliche which in the media world everyone would have heard, that content is the king. I borrowed the next part from somebody whom I really admire. Content is the king, and now data is the bloodline. So as you rightly said, we are very proud of our premium content. We have premium audiences. I think what we also wanted to make sure is that we have premium data. And as the media and entertainment ecosystem is going through a large-scale disruption, the old ways, as our previous speaker spoke about, the viewing is ubiquitous. They are no longer just focusing on cable. They are no longer just, purely on streaming. It's across. So in order for us to make our advertisers' life easy, we got to meet where they want to meet their end audiences. And for that, we have to make the life of our ad sales team very easy and simple. So part of I heard pitch to play. In our world, we call it pitch to pay, which is to make sure that people are no longer, our ad sales teams are no longer looking siloed data. When they sell as one single entity. They make sure our focus is to make sure that the campaigns, whether it's linear and digital, are all under the same umbrella, and they can interoperate, and they can talk to each other. And that's the whole convergence cycle that we are going through, to make our advertisers, brands, agencies' life easy, so that they can reach the audiences of their choice at the time of their viewing, at the place of their viewing. So that's what we have been working on.
And, well, Dave, let's talk about Nexstar. So Nexstar is taking a different approach to probably similar problems and challenges. You are leaning heavily into AI agents with Media Cloud or Agentforce Media, and also to automate manual tasks like proposal creation that we saw. Can you talk a little bit about how this agentic AI transformation is helping your sales reps focus and in building more relationships and in the strategic activities?
Sure, thanks so much. And again, thanks Salesforce for having us here. We really appreciate the support that you've given us over the last year as we've put in Agentforce Media into the organization. Nexstar is the largest television station group in the country. We have 200 properties. Our local sellers are working with 50,000 advertisers across the country. And this year, we're probably on track to run 350,000 orders through the system. So when you think about the front end of that process, working through things through the funnel, getting to a media plan that's relevant, that provides the customers outcomes that they're looking for, and it can be done in a timely fashion, there's a lot of challenges. Our sellers, we have turnover in the sales force like everyone. We have a huge number of them, and we have a large number of technologies, services, and data fragmented, right? So a lot of it's not integrated. We expect our sellers to come up to speed quickly, to develop the skills across a wide variety of platforms, technologies, understand the audience that they're targeting, et cetera, and then put together a plan. It's very challenging. So, I think what we're looking for was, some core pieces, same kind of things that Nagi was talking about, right? We have to build a foundation of data and services, and we're really looking to make sure that it's much simpler, to put those together, much faster, that we're looking to unify data, integrate, systems and services through various ways, and then ultimately to automate using AI and agents to help our sellers and support them in getting better outcomes, better plans together in a much faster and efficient way.
And what has been some of your initial results or discoveries of using the out-of-the-box agent?
Yeah, great question. So, we've been working with pilot markets now, and in a lot of cases, what we've determined, even for relatively simple things, somebody can spend 45 minutes up to a few hours just to assemble that end state, just the plan itself. Now, there's a bunch of components to that, and there's work that has to happen in advance of that. We are using some of the other agent technologies, so whether it's the SDR, just onboarding data onto the platform, using integrations with partners that we've picked up through App Exchange. But with that base, with that foundation in place, it's still time consuming. So, something that's currently 45 minutes to 2 or 3 hours, we've compressed that down, made it minutes. So we can quickly onboard a lead, enrich it with data, convert it once we get to qualification, and then generate a plan. So using the skills that the agent has to find and select the right package, customize a presentation, a pitch deck with information that we've learned from the customer, and prepare that pitch deck for presentation. It can happen in a very short time frame, just minutes rather than hours.
Yeah. So looking forward to how we can scale that to more of your stations and regions. So while we're at you, let's also talk about what's ahead. What are you thinking of as you're looking at AI to supercharge ad sales for you?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of areas. One is we'd like to extend out, beyond the boundaries of the platform. We have existing, as many people do, work in other areas, different data sources, different systems, and sort of envisioning things as more of a network of agents working collaboratively across there and orchestrated by Agentforce. So for us, we kind of look at it as a continuum. Right now, the work we're doing is really, we'll build that plan for you, right? So we understand your needs. We're going to come in and we're going to use the technology to help you build that plan quickly. But we want to get quickly to, let's build it together. Let's collaborate on that. From there, you build it.
Yeah.
So we're going to buyers want to build it themselves. Let's operate in a self-service form. And then ultimately, I think where we're going is have my agent talk to your agent.
Yeah.
Right. So being able to interact in an automated way between buyer and seller with
new meaning to your people, call my people, right?
That's right.
Well, Nagi, how about you? What are you looking at 2 years, 3 years from now in terms of AI at Warner Brothers?
I think the foundational piece, thanks to Salesforce, is to make sure that at least we are set the campaigns at one single point, at one single place of truth, and moving that from campaign to payment, which has its own cycle of in-flight management, post-flight attribution measurement. There's a huge opportunity for using AI to leapfrog, because currently our legacy systems, the only way we can leapfrog is we cannot take a phase-wise approach. I think we are at the cusp of an enormous intersection where through agentic workflows, through the ideas of single pane of glass, and just to add one thing, that it probably takes around 80 emails between us and the agencies to close a deal. Now that simple operation of automation, orchestration, and optimization. I think AI is the foundational layer for enabling all these things. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, both of you, for coming here and sharing your journey with us. And we look forward to actually helping you scale and do that even better. And again, thank you for being here and sharing this with all of us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. So we have had a packed Dreamforce, and you have stuck with us the entire time. Thank you to each and every one of you for bearing through this. So I will leave you with 3 takeaways from the session today. One is that intelligent agents can actually multiply your team's impact. And I hope that was evident in the vision that we shared with you in the demos, as well as the beginnings of the journey that were shared by our customers. And this is what we want your teams to do: leverage and augment their operational flows with agents so that we pave the way for autonomous agents and an agent-to-agent conversation so that this can be very seamless in the future. Second is that pre-built agents are easy to deploy. There's a reason we take on the hard work so that we can develop a lot of the underlying technicalities into the product so that you don't have to maintain a roadmap of that, because you have your own roadmap to build. So leverage our pre-built templates and our pre-built actions and our agents, such as the ad proposal one that you saw, and we will help you start from the 50-meter line in a 100-meter dash, versus starting at the start line or somewhere along the way. So they're easy to deploy, but they obviously need to work in your situation. So you'll need to extend them, and we'll be there with you to help you do that. And number 3, Agentforce is ready to deliver results today. So let's get that flywheel going, that flywheel of growth, so that we can get every data that you have activated, every audience that you have, get a personalized journey, and you can get into that agentic enterprise. And we want you to keep learning. So you can see this live. If you haven't visited our campground yet, please do take a look around at our agentic city as well. And you can see this demo that you saw today at the campground. You can also build your vision around this agentic enterprise and talk to us. We're absolutely happy to help you picture that and bring it to vision in a crawl, walk, and run phase, because you don't have to do it big bang. And you can continue learning online. So please take a look at all the resources that we have at your disposal. And then finally, thank you so much for spending your time and your afternoon and your lunch hour with us. And if you would please take a moment to actually there we go. Survey? No survey. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. And please come talk to us if you have any questions. There we go, survey.